Good afternoon, everybody. It is Sunday, 19th of November 2017. We are, I think, 16 weeks into our new life here in Poland, so approaching the 4-month mark. Believe it or not, it's gone really quickly. I've made quite a lot of videos, and as of yet, my wife
Hello.
hasn't featured much, maybe a couple of little clips. And a few people said, when do we get to see your wife's point of view? She's a bit camera shy, so I've had to convince her. And on Friday, I put a short video out saying any questions that you would like me to ask my wife about her point of view on me commuting, the kids' new school, life in Poland, anything at all. So quite a few of you asked questions. So I've got a few of my own and a few that were asked via the Facebook page. So we will begin. So for everyone who doesn't know, this is Kinga, my wife. We've been together for 13 years, married for
9?
8, 8, yeah, 8.5,
Yeah.
And I first came to Wroclaw with Kinga. She first brought me here, I think, in 2005. We started to see each other in 2004, and in 2005, I think was my first trip here. Do you remember?
To be honest, I don't actually, but...
For me, back then, in 2005, Wrocław was a really different city. And I was interested to see what Kinga thought about the city and if she thought it changed since 2005. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it changed a lot actually. Yeah, it's a completely different city. And lots of stuff, new stuff and old stuff renovated. And yeah, it's great. It's much better and more European, I think.
Yeah. Everybody knows how much I love the city, but I just want to talk about a few little points. When I first came here, I remember our friend's stepfather picked us up from the airport, drove us back to the house, which at that time was an hour away because there was no ring road around the city. We were driving over old, cobbled streets. A small
through Bridge now, for Polish people, they will know what I'm talking about.
And in a really old car, and from an army airport. And I turned up at our estate now, where we live, and there's graffiti all over a wall. There's a guy dipping in the bin, finding cans to sell for the aluminium. And I was like, well, what the hell is this place? I didn't really know what hit me. And then slowly but surely I fell in love. Of course with Kinga, but also with the city and this country. And I think since then we've visited every year, probably 2-3 times. Sophie was born in 2006, and from that time Kinga would normally come for the summer holidays and I would join for 2 weeks. So I think I've had a slow introduction into Wrocław, and now we obviously live here, and
kids will try new things, go to other, different school and different friends, and I think will make them more open and understanding. And
obviously, being able to purchase the flat helped. So we had somewhere to move to. That was one big thing. We had a flat. It wasn't decorated and it wasn't perfect, but we had a roof over our head. So I think that helped. And it was, as I've said on loads of videos, what we got to lose, And then obviously the uni thing here. You want to talk about that? The fact that you can do your postgraduate.
I can do my postgraduate here, which is much cheaper as well, and that's how. Postgraduate in England will cost me around another £9,000, and here will cost me £800, something like that.
Okay, so how do you think it's going in Wrocław so far? We've lived here for almost 4 months, as I said. Generally,
nice, good, positive. Yeah. Busy, but nice.
Your life is busier than mine, even though I'm the one commuting, and we'll get to that point in a minute, I think. Next question. What about me being away for 4 days a week? So how does that affect things?
I don't really have a time to think about it, to be honest.
Exactly.
Because 4 days is such a short time.
So you can look at it from the relationship point of view, our relationship. Do you think it suffers?
No.
Nor do I at all. We're not the sort of couple that need to live in each other's pockets, and we value the time we get together at the weekends, 3 or 4 days at the weekend. So I don't think our relationship suffers. But then there's maybe the childcare side of things, which luckily we've got Sophie, who's very independent.
Yeah.
And I think there's a question that Magdalena Szyńska wanted to ask, which we'll get to in a minute, which maybe covers that a bit more. So for you, what's better about living in Wrocław?
More things to do. Better winters. Better summers.
Seasons in general, I think.
Yeah, seasons in general are better. And what else? I don't know. Can see my friends more often. That's it, really.
Yeah, I
That's
think
enough.
outdoor life here is good.
Yeah.
You know, even in the winter, there's
We do
you know,
much more here. than
Christmas
we do
markets and ice skating rinks and just things to do. Okay, so that was about living in Wrocław. What about when you lived in England? You were there for 14 years. What do you think is better about living in England, or what do you miss? Maybe what do you miss about England?
Well, Nando's. I miss Nando's, and I miss what else? I miss my friends from there as well. You know, obviously, because I met lots of friends.
Yeah.
I miss my work colleagues. Hi, girls. If you watch it.
Yeah. Our house, I suppose. You know, I don't want to answer your question for you, but you know, we bought a house in 2005. At the end of 2005, we had Sophie 2006. We got married 2009. We had Oliver 2010. We've also got Bartek, who's my stepson, Kinga's eldest. He's 19. He's grown up with us and me and Kinga in that house. We still own the house, but walking away from it, for me in particular, was quite emotional. Even though we know we can go back to it at any time.
And paper chase as well.
Paper what?
Chase.
What's that?
Stationery shop.
Oh my word. Okay, so we're going to move on to the questions from people who've commented on the Facebook page. So, Maciej Mika, thank you for your question. Actually, it's a two-part question. The first part is, do you see yourself in Poland in 5 years' time?
Oh my god, I have no idea, to be honest. I have no idea. I
This
can't even tell you what I will do in a 1 year time, you know.
Kinga will confirm that I'm the planner. I'm the person who thinks ahead a year, 6 months, books the holidays. However, like I've said before, we don't know. We could be home. We could be home in July next year. Kinga's degree finishes in April 2019. So we think we're probably going to stick it out at least till then. And I say stick it out, it's not a struggle at the moment, and we're both enjoying it. 5 years' time, we don't know.
Yeah.
It could be Poland. It could be England. Depending on what happens with my career, it could be somewhere else in Europe, somewhere else in the world, we don't know. But I know it's not a question for me, so I apologise for asking, but I love the thought of being in Poland long term. I love the way this country, all the people within it are proud to be Polish. I love the way that they fight, or there's a fight, historically I suppose, in the Polish people, and they're proud of their country. I like that. I won't say any more on that and compare it to my own country, but yeah, I love it. We don't know where we're going to be in 5 years, not a clue. Keep watching, you'll find out. A second part of that question, don't you miss the rainy British weather and the far better customer service?
The rainy British weather, definitely not. It's one of the reasons why I actually moved here, and was very happy about it. I can leave it. Better customer service. I think it's better in Poland now as well. You know, it's not as bad as when I was living here 14 years ago. There's still some issues in this department, but I think it's much better than 14 years ago.
I mean, my Polish isn't wonderful, and Kinga deals with everything such as phoning or complaining or booking, sorting out the internet and stuff like that. But what I see when I go to a shop, if someone asks, where's the pastry, where's the flour? In England, you would get a bit more of an enthusiastic answer normally. Not quite as enthusiastic as an American, but, the person would show some interest. In Poland, they literally point and show you where it is, but so what? That's what you want to know. In terms of phoning and customer services on the phone at a bank or communications company, I have no experience of that, but Kinga seems to get on all right with it. Okay, then Magdalena Pierwa asked, as a parent, how do you find Polish schools in comparison to the UK?
Oh, that's a really, really long subject. That is, I could talk about for hours as well.
So that's kind of Kinga's passion. So she's trained in education studies and wants to be a teacher, and especially in special educational needs. So she could talk all day on this subject.
Yeah, but I'll try to be quick. In my opinion, every educational system have advantages and disadvantages, and doesn't matter which country you're in. I will find some faults in the British system of educational system, and I will find some faults in Polish educational system. In Poland, I think the amount of tests is a little bit overwhelming for kids, and the amount of homework. On the other hand, in England, there's lack in this subject, but I don't think, like no test at all is such a good idea as well. And I think English educational system schools in general care more about if the child is at school rather than what they actually learn.
I always say this about, sorry to interrupt, I say this about work as well. People in the UK are judged on their input, not their output. So it's how many hours you're at work and how many hours you're at school and how much your attendance you're at school. Whereas here it's a bit more, you're judged on your output. So as long as the kids are achieving at school, they have a day off.
Yeah.
No one really cares as long as they achieve what they need to achieve.
Yeah, they put more responsibility into the kids to be responsible for their grades, for how what they achieve in the future. Rather in England you more, they help you more, but help is not always good. That's a different.
Again, from my point of view, our kids did very well in an English school. They were at an amazing school, and they both are very intelligent children. So they worked very well, and they always had good school reports, and were normally working above and beyond. So it was difficult in that respect to move into another country. However, despite the fact Oliver didn't really speak the language here, I mean, what he's talking and understanding now within a couple of months of being at school is amazing. For me, it's really different here. I just see it as so much more organised. The first week they're at school, they got appointed a nurse. They had a speech therapist go and speak to them and see if they needed any work. Because for those of you who speak English and Polish will understand that sometimes, and most of the time when you're speaking a Polish language, your tongue is in a different position in your mouth to when you're pronouncing English words. So it's for that. So that just seemed, week one, they had a nurse, they had a speech therapist. It was great. For me, it was really positive experience transferring the kids. The first week was hard, but then from then on, it's been great. Yeah. Okay, next question is from Zofia Soltis. Zośka jest twoją koleżanka, tak? Tak.
Rotusie ty przeciwko.
Zosia is Kinga's friend from work. Zosia's question is, how do you find working in a Polish corporation? Is it a funny and interesting experience for you? I think I know the answer.
Yeah, it's a great experience. Although I really miss my mates from England. I have to say I'm lucky enough to find another very nice team, and I love it. Absolutely love it. I always said that work is just a work. You can have a good day, you can have a bad day, but half of the success is that who you work with, and that's the answer for your question, Sofia.
Very good. Okay. Our extremely good friend, sister-in-law, godmother to Oliver, Magdalena Skrzynska, but now you are Kokot, Magdalena Kokot, asked, how are you able to work and help the kids with the school things whilst Adam is in the UK? That's part one of the question.
Because I'm just amazing, I am. Seriously. I don't know how, don't ask me, because like I said, I have no time to think about it. I'm just doing it. And that's it.
I think when we were in the UK, there were certain jobs Kinga always did. There were certain jobs I did. I at the weekend would bulk cook lots of meals and freeze them, so that in the week we never had to cook lots of meals, and we still were eating healthily. So at the moment, we're lucky that the kids have a decent meal at the school, and then Kinga can come home and she'll do a soup or she'll do a meal for them in the evening. But I was here last week all week, and Kinga left the house at 8:15. She came home 6, half 6. She did homework, etc., etc. And she was busy till like 9 o'clock. I don't know how she does it. But as we've said to each other, if that does become an issue, then we need to talk about it, because people assume that I have the hard life because I'm away from the kids for 4 days and I travel. I don't think it's the case. My life is probably relatively easy in comparison to Kinga. I only have to cook for myself. If I don't want to eat, I don't cook. I only have to worry about me. I only have to wake myself up. I only have to get myself dressed. Kinga has to deal with all the parental issues. But again, it's what we're trialing, and if it becomes too much, we will change something.
Right now it's fine, but if it becomes an issue, I will definitely tell you.
Luckily, we have an 11-year-old who is very mature and independent and helps quite a lot in terms of taking Oliver from school and things like that, going to the shop and little jobs around the house. So we're grateful for having Sophie. She does help. And if she was younger and less capable, then it would be more of an issue for Kinga, I think. Okay, dziękuję Magda. Second part of your question is it easier or harder to make both the children do some stuff that they should do? For example, is it harder to make them do homework and to clean their rooms?
I think it's exactly the same.
More homework here?
Yeah, there's definitely more homework here, but in terms of listening to me, I don't think country change much here. They still, you still have to push them. You still have to, ask them twice or 3 times, and they're just the kids, It's nothing what they can do about it. They will learn one day, hopefully.
Okay, questions from me then. Are you happy with the kids' progress in school?
Yes, I am happy with the kids' progress in school. I think Sophie was a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of tests and the different stuff to English school, but I think she's getting used to it now, and she has very good grades. I'm very surprised, seriously. Although I know how clever she is, I expect her to struggle more, to be honest. Because obviously that different school, different language, although she speaks Polish and she understands very well, she never write or read in Polish, and school is very helpful with stuff like that. Polish teacher is amazing. She has some extra Polish lessons. Both of them actually have 2 hours per week extra Polish lessons. Yeah, and with Oliver it's a little bit different because since he's in year 1 and they obviously have no grades, they just getting used to it, and yeah, I'm happy with it as well. Yeah.
Okay, I had a couple of other questions that came from people that I know, a couple of my mates, and one of which you know, and I think they're kind of jokey questions. I'm going to ask them anyway. Matt Kenny, thanks Matt, appreciate your question, mate. How do you put up with Adam?
No idea. No idea, seriously.
Cheeky sod.
Yeah.
There's no other answer to that question, mate. James Boswell, hello Bossie, mate.
Hi.
Wants to know, who's cutting your hair now that you've left him?
There's one place not far from where we're living. It's nothing comparing to you. Nothing. Seriously.
There you go, mate. An advertisement for James Boswell in Banbury. Go and see him. Cheers, Bos. Okay, this will be my first ever Christmas away from England. Believe it or not, I'm almost 38. Always been in my hometown for Christmas. I've been to Poland many times in winter. I've been to Poland on the 26th, 27th, 28th of December into the New Year. I've been here for New Year before, but never actually for Vigilia on the 24th or for what in England is our Christmas Day on the 25th. I love Christmas, not for any religious reasons, just because for me it's about family, spending time, eating, drinking, being merry. I love it. So, my question to you is, I think over the years you've got more excited about Christmas because you never used to get it.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be in Poland this year. I can't wait. I've got 3 weeks off work. How are you feeling about Christmas? You excited?
Oh, I can't wait. Actually, I can't wait.
And I will be cooking turkey and all the trimmings on the 25th.
Yeah, we'll find a turkey.
Yeah, we will. Hala Targova. I saw
Yeah?
today on someone had posted a question on Wrocław expats, and someone said, "Go in the morning, Hala Targova, whole turkeys." If anyone's interested, hopefully.
We have to
So
go then.
you're looking forward to
Yeah,
Christmas?
I'm looking forward to very much, and I'm not looking forward to getting ready all the food, to be honest, because I have no idea how to do it. Because always my parents are doing it.
But Mum will be here.
Yeah, my mom will be here, luckily, but yeah, I can't wait.
I think we're
And I
really.
hope it will snow.
Oh, me
I
too.
really do hope it will snow.
I hope so, because I think once since Oliver's been born, we've had decent snow in England, and it was I couldn't even get a sledge because it was everybody had sold out, couldn't get a sledge, and had to pull the kids around in a plastic box. And then we bought a sledge and it didn't snow, so we're hoping it snows. Any of you that are in relation, any British guys or women, girls that are in relationships with someone from Europe generally, or particularly Polish people, you'll understand, and you may do the same as us. We kind of have two celebrations. The 24th, we have the traditional Polish meal, which is Wigilia, tak? Which we have lots of nice salads, and traditionally wasn't meat, but now lately we have meat with that.
And
Fish,
bigos and fish.
carp, bigos, soup,
Yeah, barszcz,
barszcz.
grzybowa.
Lush, love it. And then we used to have on the 25th, we'd always go to Kinga's dad, he lives in England, we used to go to him on Christmas morning and he would do jajecznica, tak?
But that was in Wielkanoc, so.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah, Christmas morning,
Okay.
which is scrambled eggs, always on Christmas morning. The trouble was, we'd have so many eggs at his house because then we'd go to my mum's for turkey and I couldn't eat Christmas dinner. So yeah, we have the 24th and then we have the traditional British Christmas dinner, turkey, roast potatoes, Brussels sprouts with pancetta and gravy, and I can taste it, I can't wait. So we kind of have a double celebration and then we have to have a big diet in the new year. Okay, what's next year going to bring?
I have no idea.
It's not far, it's like 4 weeks, 5 weeks away.
About what you talk about what January will
In
bring?
general, in general.
Yeah, exactly. I can tell you what January will bring. He's going to England for 2 weeks, and I'm gonna work.
We don't know that, darling, that's the truth, isn't it?
Yeah,
We
exactly.
don't know what's going to
I have
happen.
no idea.
Yeah, so we don't have a clue. Our plan is to stay here till next summer at least, but at the moment, the way it's going, people keep commenting to me about the negative comments about travelling. They should, it's not that bad. Honestly, if I'm doing 45 hours a week, including my travel and my job, that's probably it, so it's not actually that bad. So I think people believe, when I talk to people in general, they go, oh, you can't do that forever. Well, no, I probably can't do it forever, but at the moment, it's not difficult. The flights are cheap. It takes an hour and 45 minutes to get here. Could 4.5 hours, I'm home. So for the time being, we're staying and I'm going to continue to commute. We'll see what next year brings us. We don't really know. Okay, last question. This is the longest video I've ever done. It's almost 25 minutes.
You have to be joking.
24 minutes
You
already.
will cut this down.
Last question from me. I know we don't exactly know what we will do or where we will be in the future, but right now, are you happy with how things are?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
very happy actually, yeah.
And like I say to the kids when I do videos with them, if I gave you the choice now to go back to our old life in England or to stay here for the foreseeable future.
No, I want to try it for longer. I don't want to. Yeah, it's much better than I expect, to be honest. I thought it would be much harder, especially from the start, because obviously it's different, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad actually. It's alright. I
Okay.
hope it will get better.
Yeah, so that's all the questions. I hope those of you who asked questions are happy that I asked them for you and you got the answers that you were expecting to hear, or the answers to the questions that you wanted to ask. Next time we will do an interview in Polish. It definitely won't be 25 minutes long because I probably won't understand what Kinga's saying back to me, although I do understand quite a lot. We will do one in Polish. But for those of you that asked, here's Kinga. There's a video. Hopefully she'll be in a few more. Thank you. Sorry it's 25 minutes long. Please share and like and add any comments. And one more thing. I do keep getting, actually I didn't think I would, but I've had 3 or 4 people contact me saying, oh, we're thinking of moving back to Poland, or I'm also going to be commuting. I'm an English guy, my wife's Polish. I've had a few individuals messaging me and it's really interesting. I didn't think I actually would, and that's the whole reason I kind of started this page. So I've had a few people, and actually one today, send me a message on Facebook via the page saying how your kid's getting on at school, because we don't know whether to do this or this, or how do you find being away from your family because we're moving next year and my wife's nervous or I'm nervous. It's really good. So if I can help those people in a tiny little bit, in a little way, that makes me happy. So I'll keep doing the page and the videos. So anyway, that's it. 26 minutes long. Apologies. We're going to go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.
See ya.